So there's a picture of Mr. President returning to the country on the front page of today's Vanguard. With all some ministers and aides to the president, like National Security Advisor, all there waiting, lining up to welcome him, including the chief of staff at the presidency. Dr. Dahiru, let's start with this picture. We'll take your thoughts on this picture here. And of course, I'm sure you've seen the videos. It says Nuhu Ribadu, National Security Advisor, Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule, and Chief of Staff to the President Femi Gbajabiamila welcoming President Bola Tinubu back to the country after his participation in the 2026 Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week. All right. So, sir, comment on this picture. That's where we're starting from.
I mean, you have your governors there, you have your financial aid there, you have your chief of staff. So
yeah, I mean, the president has been away for 20 days. Something like that.
It's such a hardworking president. So he needed to welcome back. One thing you have to understand is, even though Nigeria's presidency is an executive one, an elected one, directly elected by the people, there is imperial air of majesty around what should have been a servant leader kind of democratic office. And our leaders do not seem to pay attention to some of these little details. I thought that 26 years later, this year will be, by May 29, this will be 27 years as a democracy. One would have thought that some of the conventions and maybe traditions we carried over from the colonial masters down to the First Republic leaders, military leaders, and the early leaders of the Fourth Republic would by now have been, would have evolved out of such conventions in order to portray the presidency or the president as a servant leader of the people without this air, this aura of an imperial majesty around our president. So I'm sure many young Nigerians will be wondering, what exactly is the logic behind anytime the president is traveling out, some officials will throng the airport and wave at him onto this plane, disappears into the sky, and when he's arriving, the same ceremony takes place. So all this ceremony around an executive president are things we see for monarchs in other climes. So for instance, if you have such a thing for King Charles of England or King Salman of Saudi Arabia, or some other monarchs around the world. But for executive president, you can't see this kind of ceremony around the Prime Minister of the UK, who is the elected leader of the country, who functions as a servant leader. You can't see such an air around. Yeah. Not even the almighty US president, for instance. Do you see this level of, anybody who has no business around the security of the president, you should not seen around there. And you see the way he hurries up the aircraft and hurries down, tells you that this is a working president. So, for the case of Nigeria, we have normalized this abnormality really, and it creates an air. I mean, it makes the presidency look clownish.
I mean, Doctor, I'm wondering why a governor of a state in the federal cabinet, elected on his own merit, should go line up, leave his state activities, go line up to welcome the president, like a boy.
That makes it even more, a little bit absurd. You see, our governors must understand that we have a federation to run. It's not enough to continuously complain about the constitution without looking at the operation of the constitution. So otherwise, why will a governor leave his own state, have the time to come to Abuja, and even have more time to go to the airport to be the welcoming party of the president or the Federal Republic of Nigeria when he's busy in his own state? I mean, if anything, being welcomed back to his own state by his own, retinue of, officials. So there's something wrong with this. Most of our governors actually reside in the Federal Capital Territory. They're always around the presidency. They're always around the president. You see them traveling with the president. You see them in state functions. You begin to wonder whether we are really serious about our federation. And that's why I've always said it. That rather than continue with this kind of federal system, don't you think we should collapse the entire federation into a unitary system? Let's also run it from Abuja. Because our governors showed some certain levels of irresponsibility and the incapacity to run the federative unit in line with the intent of the Constitution. The Constitution did not intend for a governor to leave his state and come to Abuja to welcome the president from a vacation overseas. He did not intend that at all. He was supposed to be sitting in the state and working himself out to make sure he provides welfare and security for his own citizens and residents of his state.
Okay, Dr. Larry, let's go to over to Edo State, where Vanguard reports 52 suspects have been arrested in Ekpoma for looting vandalism, as according to the Inspector General of Police, no less a person. And of course, we all know what's been happening with a recent anti-insecurity protests holding in that part of Edo State.
Well, I do not support violent protests, and I also believe that nobody should be spared of the full wrath of the law when they get engaged in a arsonist kind of protest that loots other people's properties and destroy other people's properties. However, the optics for me here is a little bit not right. And why do I say so? Before the protest was maybe hijacked by arsonists, there was a genuine movement, there was a genuine protest to draw attention to the growing insecurity around that part of the country. Now, I would have wanted a situation where the government would have been seen more visible in going after those that are making life unbearable for citizens of our country within that location. That should have been more visible in the media. They're actually going after those who protested and who in the process decided to help themselves with one or two things of other people's properties. Like I said, while it is very important for people to be prosecuted for stealing and looting of people's properties, that's not something that anybody should defend under whatever guise. But I'm saying that this should not have been the only visible thing in the media concerning the subject matter of insecurity in Edo State. We should have been seeing effort by now in response to this protest by both the Edo State government and the federal authorities. And they should be showing us in the media. This morning should be reviewing the effort that has been made by the Edo State government in coordination with the federal authorities to bring the perpetrators of the insecurity in the first place, which led to this protest, to justice. We have been seeing arrests being made of perpetrators, or the numbers of them that have been neutralized in gun battles want to be seen. That's what should be dominating the media. Because the impression we're having now is that the government has left those that are terrorizing our citizens in Edo State and would rather go after protesters who are trying to draw attention to the insecurity in their state. That does not sit well with a lot of Nigerians, and it conveys the wrong message. It makes government look like it is oppressing the weak, that it cannot protect from the strong terrorists that are present with overwhelming the state.
All right.